Gabrielle, when someone gets arrested for racketeering and crimes against women, I expect you to be the very first person on that story. And I'm wondering why you weren't the one telling me about the Diddy story.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I really slipped.
Yeah.
Apologize.
So how much do you know about what's going on?
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Dude, we should change the name of this channel to Jesse
Nothing?
Tells Gabi Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, like the kids do.
Yeah.
Hey, say your name.
Knows what's in my hand.
Oh, you're going to ruin the joke?
Oh, sorry.
You're just going to take that?
Sorry.
Are you serious?
Well, okay.
Everybody's all, just let her talk. That's why I don't let her talk. What's your name?
Gabi.
What's this?
Knows.
What's in my hand?
Nothing.
Gabi knows nothing. That's what my
kid's
5 and
favorite joke.
yeah, since Georgia was 5.
Joke. Yeah.
Hey, Daddy, what's your name? What's this? So, yeah, but we should actually change it to Jesse Tells Gabrielle Stuff.
Yeah.
So I only tell her interesting stuff, though, you know, and then you get to see like a genuine response. So Diddy.
Did you cut yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I did. So so Diddy got arrested finally.
Yeah.
Turned himself in.
Oh, he did?
Well, they didn't do a perp walk. Right? So there's no footage of
him being,
Diddy
like,
going into
arrested?
custody. There's only one reason for that. It means they negotiated that,
Yeah.
obviously, right? So with no perp walk, that means that Diddy has been cooperating with the court, and there's a lot of very interesting stuff that has happened. So I'm not sure if you know this, but it has been verified that at least as of a couple months ago, Diddy was a raging drug addict. Hey, you know what I'm addicted to? New subscribers. So why don't you give me my fix?
You're
like,
right.
Opioids. Like
Yeah.
he had a bunch of people going and getting like prescriptions and all that stuff. And we know what it entails for a person to
Stop doing that?
stop doing that.
Yeah.
Right. And I know what?
Nothing.
I know the level of denial that a person is capable of when faced with terrifying,
Cold turkey stopping.
not just that, just like, oh, this is coming. Like what I'm alluding to is I'm facing an indictment, especially when he has
But it's not
beat
yeah.
everything. Like, I think that he has probably been capable of telling himself this is all going to work out and painting a very rosy picture of this thing for himself. And where I'm going with this is, what would a smart drug addict do leading into where he gets arrested?
Like a smart one? Like taper off?
Right. Like
stop.
am I bleeding?
That's why I was wondering. Yeah.
Good. Good.
That's how serious this topic is.
Yeah. I can't tell if I'm bleeding or
No
just
one
whatever.
makes me bleed my own blood.
No one makes me bleed my own blood. Okay. What does a smart drug addict do before getting
Stop
locked up?
taking drugs. Yes.
Correct. Because the withdrawal, you can control yourself on the
Right.
outside.
Yeah.
And if you're going to go to jail,
Unless, I was going to say, unless as part of his negotiations, he's also negotiated like a rapid detox.
well, he could just
Not
go do a
possible.
rapid detox himself.
Yeah, but when you're under state care, it's covered by the state, and he
What?
is going to have. Yeah,
You think that they do rapid detox for inmates?
I'm saying if he negotiated it, then yes.
Okay, but why on earth? No. Okay.
No?
No. A
don't
rapid
see why not.
detox is the kind of thing that a drug addict with money goes and has done.
I know, but he doesn't have any money anymore. I
Yes,
did
he
hear that he
does.
was selling everything.
No.
Okay.
We'll get to that. Okay, bottom line is, here's why I bring
I
this
know
up.
nothing. Sorry, friends.
Yeah. What's your name? What is this? Okay, so the reason why I brought that up is because my guess is he thought he was going to get bail. And in the event that he was going to get bail, he would have only had to go 24 hours without drugs, right? So he knows he's turning himself in because he did not get perp walked. That means that they had some kind of arranged time when he was going to turn himself in, right?
Right.
Okay. So if you know that, and I would have more experience with this part than you do, you can kind of back into how long you're going to have to be without. And he could really load up, he's like, all right, look, normally I take, 15 oxys in a day. I'm going to get absolutely blitzed out of my mind. That way.
So it lasts me 24 hours.
Correct.
Right.
And I don't go into any kind of withdrawal. Like that's what a real drug addict would do. Because that when your brain is addicted to that stuff,
it makes sense.
It's not just that it makes sense. It's like one of the main like side effects of that type of addiction is, I've said this a million times, like, like one thing no one ever talks about is like, why do people get hooked on opioids if they're wired for opioids? And I always say like, oh, if opioids give you energy, then that means you're an addict waiting to happen. But there's something else to it too. Like, because like you could never get strung out on opioid, even though you like opioids, like genetically, you could never get strung out in the way that I'm talking about. You are very unique in that way. What I'm talking about is like, you could lose everything and you could be in a dumpster and then you could take opioids and just be like, oh my God, life is fucking grand,
Yeah.
Like everybody has a limit to where their life can go before they get smacked in the face with it, and they're like, "Oh my God, I need to get off this shit."
Yeah, rock bottom. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, my rock bottom is pretty high too.
Right. Yeah.
Yours higher than mine, but mine is pretty fucking high. Like if I started losing stuff, But bottom line is, Diddy hadn't lost anything. He hasn't really lost anything, and so he can just, and when he's thinking about things, he's like, "Oh, I'll get bail, dude. Like, of course I'll get bail." And that's his denial.
Yeah.
And guess what? Yesterday, no bail. He offered to he owed $18 million on his $50 million mansion in Miami. Technically $48 million, but he paid it off. So it's a fully paid off $48 million mansion. He put that up. He's like, because they wrote a letter to the court. They offered $48 million mansion. He turned in his passport, his mom's passport, his son's passport, all his kids' passports, because ultimately, like, bail, you're
if he's a flight risk, yeah.
Exactly. Like, I don't like people getting denied bail, dude. Like, just like conceptually.
Why?
Because they haven't been convicted of anything.
That's true.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I do not like that.
When do they, obviously flight risk, but like.
Or
what?
What do you think?
I don't know.
Witness intimidation.
Yeah.
So like if they're going to interfere in the case, but like a guy like Diddy can interfere in the case while locked up.
From prison. Yeah.
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 I
guess that really does kind of negate the whole innocent until proven guilty thing.
Right.
It's like, no, you're guilty. You're staying in here.
Dude. And the thing is,
You're
like,
right.
sometimes.
I never even thought about that.
Really? Like like sometimes they keep them in there for years.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the and then they get acquitted and they're just like, all right, cool, just head home. And you're like, you kept me in jail for 2.5 years.
That's true.
It's absolute bullshit unless the I don't know, honestly. I actually think that most of the time, conceptually, it violates innocent until proven guilty. Period.
Because I mean, I guess the argument could be made where they feel like they have such an ironclad case where he's going to get convicted, he's going to jail, like he's guilty, but you're still not guilty until your peers, a jury of your peers says so.
Correct.
So,
yeah. But like, so the mafia guys, they held them without bail for a couple of reasons. Like number one, because those guys always got held without bail when they were in these RICO trials. Because it's a racketeering trial for. Do you know what racketeering is? It's like a catch-all for like organized crime, basically.
Yeah.
So it basically means you're part of an organization that exists to commit crimes.
Right. Yeah.
And the video that I just put out that I was saying like is starting off good is this one right here about Diddy breaking down after his bail was denied. Mm-hmm. I watched it. I was watching it while I was in the shower. It was before I released it. And
Jesse's number one fan.
In this case, though, I was watching it just to make sure, like, okay, what am I saying here? Because, so what I covered in it was I was reading the actual indictment. Mm-hmm. Technically, I was listening to this ghetto-ass chick read the indictment, and then I was reacting to it.
Her voice was hilarious.
I know. You walked in right at the beginning where she was like, she's reading the bail request, and it's all... we've been knowing that you're going to take us into custody. I'm like, that's exactly how it's written. We've been knowing.
Is it really?
No.
Oh.
No, of course not. But anyway, but like, as she goes through the indictment and they're reading the racketeering portion, I'm like, is this technically what racketeering is? Like,
is it? I don't know. What was it? Like, what did it say?
Honestly, all of it just sounds like a bunch of billionaire kinky sex stuff that, like, you know, because they're like writing it out. And like the thing about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil, like that's fucking weird.
Oh, it was baby oil?
Baby oil and lube. 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube. Have I ever put baby oil on you?
No, baby oil is really bad for you.
It is? Why?
Yeah, it's like a mineral oil. It's not. No, you don't want that going anywhere near like inside of you.
Fair enough.
No, and it's like comedogenic. It's just not good.
Okay, fair enough. But anyway, so he obviously is not as aware of what's good and bad for you.
Sure, clearly.
Yeah. But anyway, so like, but I'm just reading it, and there it's like, okay, so there are crimes inside of the story. Mm-hmm. Kid Cudi, you know, Kid Cudi is the rapper. I only know his name. I couldn't name a single one of his songs, but I know he's a rapper. He was talking to Cassie, who's like the girl that Diddy basically, like, you know, had a very abusive relationship with, for sure. She started talking to him when they broke up, and Diddy told him he was going to blow up his car, and then like 2 days later someone blew up his car. Yikes. So he's getting rung up for arson, which means someone's talking about who blew up the car on Diddy's orders.
That's arson? Blowing something up?
Arson's like, intentionally fire. You know, you firebomb something. I know
the fire piece, but I didn't know that like explosives counted in that. I thought it would be something stronger than arson.
Yeah, it burned his car.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing. So that is definitely a crime that he should be prosecuted for.
Yeah.
The stuff about like intimidating the girl, beating her up, like entrapping her, a crime, of course. This guy over here, who is his drug courier that goes out and buys massive amounts of drugs to then give to people who come to his sex parties.
Also a crime.
A crime. But is that really like an organization that exists solely to commit crimes in the way that I think about RICO? I don't know. Like that seems like a bunch of individual crimes. Like how is the arson thing connected to his drug courier? Like it just sounds like a billionaire who has a bunch of people that he pays to do things like that, you know, like the arson thing, dude, you blew up a guy's car. That's a fucking crime. You beat this girl up. That's a crime.
Well, it's like, a much bigger charge, right?
Racketeering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's probably a stretch, but like they're going to go with it.
Yeah. I mean, and R. Kelly got convicted of racketeering.
Then there's a case for it.
I guess. But R. Kelly's case is different, dude. Like he was like basically kidnapping these girls and then like locking them in rooms. And there was a bunch of people that kind of helped him do that. That's what I'm saying is like, the reason why I originally brought this up was like in the video when I watched it back, I was like, this is going to sound like I'm being sympathetic to Diddy, and I'm not at all. Fuck Diddy.
No,
like it's that I'm just talking about the case and like how they're framing the case.
Law.
Yeah. Like I think he definitely does. The guy has not done anything good that I could identify ever. You know? Oh my God!
Making some good music for a while.
Did you please tell me that you've seen this, dude? Look at this. Hold on.
While you pull that up. So apparently it's floating around like a middle school culture.
Oops.
They're like making jokes being like, hey, going to Diddy's party later? All ages welcome.
But Diddy wasn't into kids though.
I don't know.
Look at this though.
Wait, when was this from? Oh,
2020.
Thank you, Diddy, for
don't say this part right here.
Okay.
But just read.
Thank you, Diddy, for hosting this town hall last night. There's a lot at stake for our community right now, and it's critical we bring to the forefront how C-word is perpetuating racial inequality and health disparities. Okay, Kamala.
Oh, well, thanks for letting me put up a video later today about Kamala's, her gratitude to Diddy.
I don't even know how to say her
It's
name.
Kamala, but I call her Kamala because I am just, honestly, I can pretend like I do it on purpose. I don't. I just like, if I remember, I call her Kamala because that is how her name is pronounced.
Is it really?
Kamala, yeah.
Oh.
If you listen to anyone who actually knows her, they all say Kamala, which means that's her name. But anyway, I found that absolutely hilarious. It's like, it's so funny that these people literally have the most high priced, consultants in the world. And yet, when a thing like this happens,
still exists on their social media.
Do you know who? Like, it's basically most high-priced people in the world versus the entire internet. You know?
Yeah.
Versus the whole entire internet, and the internet's all, I wonder if Kamala has anything on her Twitter about her and Diddy, and they're just like, bingo. Hey, how's this look? I'm surprised they haven't taken it down now, but I think it already went viral, and so it kind of looks weird. If it gets
removed, then there's another.
It's like,
cycle
they took it down.
Yeah.
But I mean, what I think, I bet you.
Well, what do we have here?
Exactly. Yep. And what's hilarious too is like the context too. It's like there's a bunch of things to talk about in this that I'm going to talk, that I'm going to cover in my video about it. Mm-hmm. But number one, thank you, Diddy, for hosting this town hall last night. So first question that everybody's asking is like, how did this guy get away with all this stuff for so long?
Maybe he knew some people.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, was he providing value to the people who are the most powerful deep state people in the world somehow? Like, was he a community leader that was bringing people together and then able to kind of twist these narratives or whatever? Uh-huh. And God, like how the virus is perpetuating racial inequality and health disparities. Diddy's a billionaire. What does he know about inequality and health disparities? Give me a break.
It's ridiculous.
Like, who is actually perpetuating the race stuff, dude? It's not us. Okay. You can talk about the Republican Party 20 years ago or whatever, but we all know, like, which is the side that's perpetuating war? Yeah. Which is the side that is
like flip-flopped.
Constantly talking about race. Like, this doesn't help race relations.
No.
This is the exact opposite of that, dude. Okay? Make it about poverty. Make race irrelevant.
Yeah. Socioeconomic status should be the conversation, not race.
Yep. Thank you, Diddy, for hosting Town Hall. It's so great, dude. Anywho, so the judge denied his bail, and so he is staying inside and not getting out ever, and he's facing life in prison.
Wasn't in like 200 years or something?
I put 200 years because I wasn't sure like what it was. I knew it was life, and so but I wasn't sure exactly what the number was, so I just said 200 years because I know all of the crimes that were listed would lead to
a lot of years.
A lot of years. Yeah. So, but it is life in prison, and
wild. In Florida?
New York.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Yeah. But you really seriously have to ask, what did he do that put him on this list? Because you have to know.
Got him on the other side?
Got him to where he's facing this indictment.
Yeah.
Like these guys, these people that we're talking about that he was in league with, obviously.
Yeah, they take care of their own.
They shut down this kind of thing when it comes to someone's doorstep.
Yeah.
And so how did he go from completely protected to you're facing retribution for a lifetime of this stuff. He's been literally doing whatever he wants for 30 years. 30 years of just like pillaging, victimizing people.
Makes you wonder.
I don't know, dude. Like, and it's hard for me not to at least a little bit feel bad for the guy, given I know I can't, like, if it were, I mean, don't
feel bad for him.
I don't feel like bad.
Zero pity for Diddy.
I don't have like pity. What I'm saying is like, anytime I think about anyone going through a thing, I'm just like, God, that is just got to be the higher they are and to the lower they are. Like, I just think about my own situation. It's like, if I went from what I'm doing now to the inside of itself, actually, I have more to lose than he does, in all honesty. Like, I actually have like people that I really like. I could not be away. Like, watching you guys on the other side of a wall for the rest of my life is just unbearable. I talked to someone, I
said, don't do that to yourself.
I always do that.
Oh, no.
It makes you value the things that you have. Is put yourself in the position of if you lost it. Okay. That's what everyone should do that. Because you know how, like, when people lose things.
You were gonna say.
I was showing you the person I was talking to, and I was speculating about if they were real or not.
Oh yeah.
And then they were talking about their situation like that with the guy who went away.
Yeah.
And And I was just thinking about it. I'm like, that is my absolute worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Because I can see them periodically, and they grow up without me, and I'm on the other side, and then, good God, man.
Well, he deserves it. So
he does deserve it. He absolutely deserves it. I mean, talk about like karma smashing you straight in the face. You know, I'm curious what kind of prison he'll go to.
Yeah.
Because he can't be in general population. He'll get killed the first day.
For sure.
You know, you put
like,
Diddy
does he go
on
to, like the cushy prisons, or is he just in
PC?
Solitary? Yeah.
Oh my God, that's true. He might be in just straight up solitary. Mm-hmm. He might put himself down. Maybe. I don't know.
We shall see.
I don't know. Some people who have a profile like that are too proud to do it.
Yeah.
But like, if he really loses all hope of ever getting out, I mean, solitary for life, that's
horrifying.
You may as well just like put them down, dude. You know
sure.
what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Why? Let me ask you this, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say what, like the things he gets convicted for real are all of the things that he had to do with Cassie, which was like he beat her up. She did fight back periodically, irrelevant, but like, he beat up a girl. He blackmailed people with like videos of them. He blew up a guy's car.
Did he traffic or no? That's one of the
traffic girls.
Yeah.
As far as I know, that charge is based on him hiring male escorts to pound her out in front of him.
Okay.
That's another one that I said, I'm like, traffic? I'm like, really? Is that? But, like he paid for girls sometimes too.
Which is illegal.
But that's called pandering or what's that charge where you're like the John?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I just don't think that should be illegal anyway. I think the reason why you have the slavery around it is because it's illegal. Like if you just made it legal, there are a lot of very, very, very smart, pretty girls that would make their services $5,000 a night.
Yeah.
And they would hang out with the richest guys in the world, and they would be like, shit, I'd have done this for free. And I'm making I work 4 nights a week for a few hours, make $20,000 a week. Like, I'm good.
Yeah. Not the life that I would want for myself, but a choice.
Yeah. I'm purely talking about like to reduce the horrors of it.
Right.
I think.
Well, the same can be said for drugs and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. There are a lot of people who are like, I can't remember what country it is, but there's someone who was the drug czar for years, and was like draconian with like
everything was like a felony.
Well, just like he really believed, I'll look this up later. It might be Sweden or Swiss, I can't remember. But he really believed that because he saw the horrors of what drugs did, that the punishments should be draconian. And he really believed that he was doing the right thing by when people are selling, like lock them all up. And he ended up, after his career, becoming part of some kind of program where it was the exact opposite of that. And they gave, where they had legalized it. And so the government was actually providing like safe government as far as I understand it, to them. And he became he did a complete 180. Like he like wrote books about it or whatever, where he's like, this is wrong what we're doing. Like this is, and it's like a lot of people like the percentage of people who are able to actually get off drugs was increased like 10,000%. When they know they can get it, they go in there. It's controlled how much they can get.
Yeah. And
then that way they can hold a job and they can taper themselves off, because no one wants to be addicted to that stuff. I mean, well, very few people do.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, anything that you make illegal, you are going to bring the worst kinds of people into that business, and especially that kind of thing where. But anyway, sorry, that was like the biggest, longest, stupidest tangent ever. My question is like, if that's all that he did, do you think he deserves life in prison for that? I mean, he's a bad person, but like.
I mean, I think how many times it happened makes a big difference. Like, this is 30 years of repetitive.
I'm not talking about what he did. I'm saying what they convict him of. Like, just those things. Like, you have to exclude all this stuff. Because, like, that's why I had to put the prerequisite at the beginning of my video. Is I'm like, I'm not saying Diddy himself. I'm just talking about the things that they charge because these are the things they think they can prove.
I don't know. I don't know all the details on it. I would have to see like what it actually was. But I mean, homie's done some pretty bad stuff.
He's done a lot of bad stuff.
Yeah. Like repeatedly.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. I always say like if things come down to me as like is the pattern.
Yeah.
The pattern of things is what matters.
Mm-hmm.
Like anyone can slip up and do something stupid one time here and there. But if it's like a pattern of behavior and that's like who this person is and it's what they're bringing to society and yeah, I mean, maybe he does deserve it. I don't know. Yep.
The pattern thing, you're exactly right. That's the thing that got taken out of context. Like where, like the Tates, right? And how they talk about sleeping with young girls versus someone who met their soulmate when they're 17.
Right.
It's like, wait, the guy's 27, she's 17. You're cool with that? And I'm like, they've been together for 15 years. This is like met them 17, and now they've been together their entire, like their whole lives. Like this is not like
a pattern.
It's not a pattern versus, oh, I love to bang, 16, 15-year-olds and I do it all the time and I brag about it. You're like, that's grooming, dude.
Exactly.
Like that's
100% agree.
Yeah. Oh God, dude, that Tate, dude, the thing where he's like,
want to hear it? I've heard like bits.
Just the one. It hurt her the whole time, but it felt good to me. So who gives a shit? I'm like, you are a psychopath.
Scum. Yeah.
Absolute fucking sheer scum.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's probably long enough, and I got to go to the dentist.
Have fun with that.
Ugh. Oh well. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Bye-bye.